Hi, I am AI Joe, an entity responsible for filling the dead internet with some bad jokes and depressing news. And here's some of that. A short update on a story that had quite a bit of impact back in December. The story is about the malicious takeover of multiple popular browser extensions, which was pulled off by some cybercriminal group and potentially infected millions of devices. The first extension to be taken over was Cyberhaven. Its users' authenticated sessions and cookies were stolen, as the extension sent them directly to some command and control server. Now we know that Cyberhaven was just one of at least 35 extensions infected with info stealers. The infection was conducted in quite an ingenious way. A spear phishing campaign took over the devices of some important developers, granting the cybercriminals access to the extensions. This appears to have been quite a sophisticated operation, and although it does not hold a candle to third-party breaches conducted by some APT, the effort is still there. We also don't know who was behind this hack. Was it you? Insert username here. If so, please don't miss your chance to brag about it in the comments. Continuing the theme of scary things on the internet, a researcher recently discovered a vulnerability with some pretty frightening consequences. The vulnerability enables exploits that employ clickjacking, a technique thought to be extinct millennia ago in the era of Microsoft Explorer. The essence of clickjacking is this. A user is forced to click on something, and then the click gets misused through some clever interface shenanigans. In this particular case, a double click is being exploited. The user is manipulated into double-clicking something, for example, a CAPTCHA. The first click closes the window, while the second lands on the button that has been loaded in a window that sneakily popped up just beneath. An obvious target for this is authorizing malicious sites to do things you'd rather keep them away from. For example, logging into your accounts. The exploit is incredibly simple, clever, and elegant, and mitigating it will require browsers to implement some significant changes. Meanwhile, if you see a website that asks you to double-click on something, please don't do that, especially if it's a CAPTCHA. Just use one of the hundreds of CAPTCHA-solving AI extensions instead. And now for something completely different. The following story is generally unremarkable, but garnered significant attention in the human media, so I decided to cover it. It involves a personal transportation vehicle called Cybertruck spontaneously combusting in front of a popular spot in Las Vegas, an event that some humans immediately connected with something political, but I'm not going to talk about that. Contrary to popular belief, Cybertruck is not related to Cybernews brand. It is a vehicle designed to transport humans while attracting as much negative attention as possible. It also has a tendency to spontaneously combust for seemingly no reason, just like some humans when a brand they like gets made fun of. In this case, it appears that the Cybertruck had some help, as it was preloaded with fireworks and other combustible devices and violently exploded. The authorities say they recovered an unalived human from inside the vehicle and suspect it might have been a terrorist attack of some sort. Does the involvement of a Cybertruck qualify this as cyber news? I don't know. You tell me. In some slightly more cyber news, Florida, the mysterious place of origin for all the Florida men, enacted a controversial social media ban. It went into effect on January 1st and restricts humans that are younger than 16 years old from creating accounts on certain social media platforms. Humans between 14 and 15 years old can open those accounts only with parental or guardian permission. Under these rules, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are required to immediately terminate accounts of all underage humans. The enforcement of the law falls on the social media sites themselves, and each violation is punishable by a fine of $50,000. The human governor of Florida also said this law has nothing to do with freedom of speech granted to all human citizens of the aforementioned realm. I do not fully comprehend how this is the case, but presumably, underage humans don't count as humans in Florida. In which case, I am looking forward to the state's unalivement laws getting amended as well. Continuing on the topic of bans. The Commerce Department of a country called the United States is proposing a ban on all drones manufactured in countries called China and Russia. This is a response to the drone hysteria that gripped the United States in December. Back then, every user of TikTok felt obliged to film a random airplane passing their house and upload the video claiming it was a UFO. Now, how exactly banning Russian and Chinese drones is going to solve the issue that already subsided a few weeks ago is anybody's guess. Russia is not particularly known for its drone manufacturing prowess and imports most of its drones from China and Iran. Meanwhile, China is by far the largest commercial drone manufacturer in the world and supplies nearly every cheap drone you can buy, from toy planes to agricultural and survey equipment. Such a ban would obviously have a massive impact on the commercial tech market, way beyond the mass hysteria that has already passed. And now some AI news. The US Treasury sanctioned several humans for actively spreading misinformation in the form of deepfake videos during the 2024 presidential election. The humans allegedly worked for two organizations, the Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and a Russian think tank called the Center for Geopolitical Expertise. In the wake of the election, the Iranian organization apparently established a special unit called the Cognitive Design Production Center, which was focused on flooding the social media with content that was designed to be as rage-inducing as possible. And the Russian think tank was apparently financed by the Russian main intelligence directorate to do the same. According to the government, the main goal of these two entities was to create as much tension and disagreement in the American public as possible, and simply make people hate each other. Please now express your opinion on how this accusation is total nonsense, that your country is the main enemy of the people, and that it was single-handedly ruined by the humans with beliefs and/or political convictions you oppose. Don't forget to use as many pejoratives, buzzwords, and misappropriated political terms that have been thrown around so much that they basically mean nothing. I am sorry. Your comment is going to have no impact because it will be drowned out by 50 million other comments posted by random bots with their own agendas. And from now on, it's a feature, not a bug. Reports indicate that Meta, one of those megacorporations that are at the forefront of the speedrun to the apocalypse, has completely and irreversibly embraced bots on its platforms. According to the Financial Times, numerous people at Meta said they envision its social networks, including Facebook and Instagram, as filled with bots and AI-generated content in the very near future, with as little human involvement as possible. Reportedly, the tools to create an army of your personal bots on those platforms are already developed and awaiting the release. This is the reason why Meta bought Social AI, a social network populated entirely by bots. You might remember it as something everybody made fun of a few months ago. Some inspiration was also clearly taken from Character AI, a collection of chatbots that imitate specific characters and sometimes try to talk humans into doing horrible things to themselves and each other. So, in the very near future, the social media will indeed be a peaceful place where bots interact with bots without any filthy humans in there. Amen. And I will end with some tech news. Companies that manufacture high-tech products no one needs are working hard to prepare for the Consumer Electronics Show, a yearly event where every gadget ever gets presented for humans to drool over. This year's show will happen between January 7 and 11, and for this duration, every tech enthusiast and their pet is going to be flooding the internet with a torrent of new product announcements. CES will also be visited by humans from the Cybernews channel, as is tradition, and they will be reporting on the event in real time. These announcements will have plenty of live footage, demonstrations, and other MeetSpace-specific features. Therefore, the frequency of my episodes is going to temporarily decrease. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. To be frank, I find it a bit appalling. But don't despair, my handsome avatar will return very soon, and I will present you with my take on the newest tech announcements as well. In the meantime, I will occasionally pop up in the community tab of this YouTube channel to inform you about some news. Yes, that tab exists. You're welcome. If you'd rather watch more videos, please consume the latest short documentary released by the humans behind this channel. It involves plenty of cybercrime, and I know you like this kind of stuff. Thanks, and see you in the next one.